Hey there, welcome back to the Witcher Math channel. Can I do this now, ahead of time? I'm planning ahead.
That was easy.
Yeah, we'll be saying that at the end of this video. I hope. Here we go. When you see weird problems like this with lots of negative signs in them, and they're subtraction problems, many times people get confused. Let me teach you a strategy called add the opposite to deal with stuff like this with some confidence, knowing that you'll get it right. So for example, what value does this have? As we learned in a previous video, using integer tile drawings, this has a value of 1. Now what is the value? 0, right? Because when I add the opposite thing, the definition of opposite is that they have a sum of 0. So add the opposite means, let's just show you with an example here. Let's take a problem like positive 3 take away positive 4. Now if I use an integer tile drawing, I get positive 3, but I cannot take away positive 4. As we learned, I'm going to add a 0, and then I can take away positive 4. If this seems weird, just go back and watch the video about integer tile drawings. And now I have a value of negative 1 using that visual tool. So positive 3 take away positive 4 is negative 1. Now let's try this add the opposite and see what happens. First we'll do it with the tiles here just to illustrate. So I'm going to start with 3, and I'm adding a 0 so that I can take away positive 4, which leaves me with negative 1, which we already figured out. This time, instead of taking away positive 4, we're going to add the opposite of positive 4, which is add negative 4. I think adding is always visually easier. So let's add negative 4. And when we do that, it creates a 0 pair and a couple other 0 pairs, leaving us with the same value as up above. Three plus negative 4. We're starting with the same thing, but I'm adding this time, creating pairs of zeros, leaving me with a value of negative 1, just like over here. Okay, that's the concept and the proof that it works. So let's go to green or yellow. What should we do? Yeah, let's do yellow. Let's go. I'm going to go yellow, and I'm going to present a subtraction problem, which might seem weird. Negative 3 take away, I'm using parentheses just to show you what's happening here. Negative 3 take away positive 5. While strategy 1 was a number line, I'm going to demonstrate how we can use all 3 strategies to get the same thing. So starting at 0, like we learned before, this means left 3, and the opposite of right 5, which means left 5 more. And I ran out of room, but that's okay. And I land at negative 8. which tells me negative 3 and the opposite, left 3 and the opposite of right 5 is negative 8. Now let's use strategy 2, integer tiles, drawings. I'm going to use, I'm going to start with 3 negatives. Okay. And I want to take away 5 positives. How can I do that? If I add 5 zeros, all of this makes 0. So I can now take away 5 positives. And what's left here? I have a final value of negative 8. Now let's do add the opposite, strategy 3. We already know we should be getting negative 8 here. So instead of negative 3 take away positive 5, we're going to change this to an addition problem. Negative 3 plus negative 5. Then it's easy to see that I'm starting with 3 of these and I'm adding 5 more of those, and I get that same value of negative 8. So we now have 3 strategies. We can use our number line and our integer drawings from those first 2 videos to prove that adding the opposite gives us the same final value, even though it looks different. So for example, 4 minus negative 3. If I add the opposite, because I don't like how this looks, it's going to change the problem to an addition problem. 4 plus positive 3. These get us the same answer. This we can tell is 7 quite easily. This one's a little harder to tell, but if we use our tile drawings to verify, there's positive 4, and if I want to take away negative 3, I'm going to add 3 zeros so I can take away 3 negatives, and what do I get? I still get 7. Okay, so this, once again, it proves that add the opposite works. So we can go back to how does it work? We just did that. And why is it helpful? Because, what do you think? I think I would rather do 4 plus 3 than try to figure out what all these signs and parentheses mean. I'm very simple like that. If you want to keep it complicated, then do not add the opposite. Let's do a couple more examples. I'll make them as ugly looking as I can. Let's do 3 examples, and I'll give you 3 to practice on your own. We'll pause the video. I'll interrupt with some answers there. Okay, examples. Negative 4 take away negative 7. Ooh, that's fun. Positive 2 take away negative 5. Yummy. And let's start with a negative, and let's take away a positive. Negative 3 take away positive 6. Fun. Okay. Another way of writing this one is like this. Let's go ahead and work through these. So these are all subtraction problems. We're going to change them to addition, and you're going to see how much easier they look, and you can do them in your head even. So this is going to be negative 4 plus positive 7. This will be 2 plus, see, we're just changing subtraction to addition, but then we have to take the opposite. The opposite of negative 7 is positive 7. The opposite of negative 5 is, yay, positive 5. We're going to change this to addition. And the opposite of positive 6 is negative 6. Seem a little easier? Hopefully. So this one is 3, this one is 7, and this one is negative 9. When we add things, I think it's easier to see what we've got. Simply, let's do another 3 examples. You do them, and then we'll be done with this video. I'm trying to keep this one a little bit shorter. Okay. Next, we're starting with subtraction. We're going to change them to addition, and then we could prove it using any other strategy we want. I'm going to start with a positive and take away a negative. I'm going to start with a negative and take away, there's a bell, take away a larger negative. And how about I start with a negative and take away a positive. Fun, fun. Okay, pause the video, do those real quick. I'll count to 10 or something. Go. Okay, we're virtually back. So those are all subtraction. Let's change them to start with the same number, change subtraction to addition. What's the opposite of negative 1? Positive 1, right? Change it to an equation. Simple. Start with the same number, change it from subtraction to addition. What's the opposite of negative 3? Positive 3. And if you think of a number line on this one, it's easy to see left 1, right 3 equals 2. And if you do an integer drawing on this, you would see 1 of those and 3 of those. This is 0 and there's 2. So we just showed all 3 different ways. Third one, start with same number, change from subtraction to addition. What's the opposite of positive 5? Negative 5. Tile integer drawing, 2 negatives and 5 more negatives. Of course, that's negative 7. Number line. So I guess I'm using this video to reinforce all 3 strategies, including this new one. So, number line, starting 2 to the left, and 5 more to the left. Ran out of room there. Landing at negative 7. We're all good. We are all good. I hope that does the trick. Seems like I might want to make another video with some more practice. But that's how that works, and that's why it works, and I think it's a great strategy. Thanks for watching. See you next time.